$1 paintbrush versus $100 paintbrush. Is it worth it? Let me work it. I put my thing down, flip it, and reverse. Is it worth it? We're gonna find out today by putting these paintbrushes through a series of tests. Test number 1, shoes, and more specifically, Nike Air Force Ones. We will use a leather paint to customize these shoes, the only difference being on the left shoe, I'm using the $1 paintbrush, and on the right shoe, I'm gonna use the $100 paintbrush. But first, I gotta prep these shoes. Okay, so first up we have the $1 paintbrush, and we're gonna use some Petal Pink acrylic leather paint. Okay, so honestly, this paintbrush is very similar to paintbrushes I normally use because I normally don't buy $100 paintbrushes. So this is a very familiar feeling, I'll just say that. Some breaking news. It looks like I already lost a little bristle in the paint. What can you expect? It was $1. So other than losing a little bristle, I think it's serviceable for sure. So we're gonna go ahead and get another coat once this dries. We're gonna see how it goes, but honestly, not a bad start. Okay, now it's time for the $100 brush, and honestly, this is a little bit more intimidating. And I think because it's so big, it honestly might make it a little bit harder to use. Here goes nothing. Oh yeah, this is massive. Dude, I can't even really see what I'm doing. I'm already going into the swoosh and I didn't even mean to. This is crazy. I thought the other brush was streaky. Look at these streaks. Oh gosh. This honestly isn't too good. Oh boy. I will say that this shoe took way less time to paint than the other shoe, but I don't think it's worth, like, would you rather be good or would you rather be fast? This was fast, but not good. The other brush was good, but not fast. Yeah, these streaks are just not it. But again, this will be layer 1 out of probably 2, if not 3 layers. So we'll let this dry and get back to the $1 brush for round 2. Little side note. I used a hairdryer to speed up the drying time with these shoes. So in total, it was like 60 to 90 minutes in between each layer of paint. Okay, yeah, that's already looking so much better in my opinion. Yeah, I feel like this brush is something I'm so familiar with, and I have a lot of confidence using this brush. Even though this might take longer than the bigger brush, the control that you get is unmatched. And just like that, the second layer is done. And we have barely any streaks. Layer 2, $100 brush. Ugh, this is just so messy. The streaks are kind of going away, which is good, but still, compared to that $1 brush, I just feel like this is just not doing the trick. Again, it's quick, but quick doesn't mean good. The final part of customizing these shoes will be a little splatter test. See how well these paintbrushes can splatter paint onto these shoes. Oh, that was good. I'm starting to really like this paintbrush. Leave this out to dry. And now we got this guy. And we got the big boy. The big boy. I have no idea how this is gonna go. Oh, those are big globs. I don't know how I feel about this. I'll have to wait until I take the tape off to make my decision. The shoes came out pretty cool in my opinion, but there's a clear winner here. I think the left shoe, aka the $1 paintbrush, beat the other shoe by a mile. The right shoe, the $100 paintbrush, you can notice streaks in the paint, which I don't really like. And also, since the paintbrush was way bigger, it held a lot more paint, which therefore seeped through the masking tape I had on. And so there's gonna be a lot of cleanup work afterwards. So I think the $1 paintbrush did a lot better job, and we're gonna give this win to the $1 paintbrush. The next test is experience. The experience simply just means my experience buying the paintbrushes, opening them, and handling them. I found the $100 paintbrush on Blick Art Supply's website. It came in a big box loaded with protective shipping materials, and the brush felt safe and well maintained, while the $1 paintbrush was from Amazon. And well, technically I couldn't find a $1 paintbrush So really, this is a 35-cent paintbrush. And I don't think I've ever had anything break in transit, but when I opened up this package from Amazon, the paintbrushes literally just spilled out. So testing experience, I'm gonna have to go ahead and give the win to the $100 paintbrush. The next test is painting a canvas. The first thing I had to do is prep this canvas. I personally like painting on top of a layer of paint, and so I went ahead and got my supplies, went to my backyard, and sprayed a layer of blue. And while that was drying, I went ahead and created a mock-up on my computer of what I wanted to paint. I wanted something simple that would have small details and big details. That way I can try different things when I paint. I used my projector to trace out the design on this makeshift rig I set up, and then it was just time to paint. We have the $1 brush, and we have some acrylic paint. Let's freaking do this. The bristles are starting to come apart, and it's making it hard to have some pretty precise lines. So honestly, this brush isn't looking too good right now, but we're still in the early phases. And also, I'm not a world-class painter. Take whatever I say with a grain of rice. It's pretty hard to get the fine detail, I will say that. Which, if it's this hard to get the detail with this small brush, I can only imagine what it's gonna be like with the $100 paintbrush that's so much bigger. These bristles are just not doing the trick right now. I feel like where the $100 paintbrush is gonna really show its difference is on these big sections, because I run out of paint so often with this little brush. Honestly, I don't think this is gonna be a hard paintbrush to beat. Let's move on to the big boy. I forget that you guys can still hear me. Dude, I'm nervous. These little details, I feel like are not gonna go over too well. Oh boy. Honestly, this isn't the paintbrush's fault. The fact that I have such a small thing I wanted to paint, it's my fault for creating something, but I wanted a little bit of a challenge. I want to see how I could do with a small thing. Oh boy. This is so hard to use. I'm also not proficient with using a big paintbrush, so I feel like these tests are also a little skewed that way. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to use like just a little bit of the paintbrush, but it's just not working out. Okay, I will say it's slightly better on the big section of this painting, but just not good. Again, I feel like there's a straightforward winner with this canvas. On the left side, we have the $1 paintbrush, and on the right side, we have the $100 paintbrush. And unless you're going for like this abstracty, messy look, I'm gonna have to go ahead and give another win to the $1 paintbrush. But the next test is the most simple and straightforward test we have, a price test. I don't see the purpose in spending $100 on a paintbrush. I'm gonna say it, sue me. Well, don't. Well, if you sue me, then you get money to buy a paintbrush, I guess. I personally would rather blah, 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 blah. Who needs this explanation? What's more affordable, $1 or $100? Answer, $1. We're gonna give this win to the $1 paintbrush again. And to answer the age-old question from Missy Elliott, is it worth it? Is the $100 paintbrush worth it? Nah, dude. I don't think so. It's a no for me, dude. Nah, negative. No siree. Nope. Nah, dude. Not my watch. I don't want that. Nah, dude. Nah, dude. I don't want that, dude. Nah.